Thanks to Diamond Select Toys for sending this one and a few others out, so check out the description down below for links where to buy and for Diamond Select's website. Kaiju, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collector. Steven here, and today I'm bringing you yet another Pacific Rim Uprising review where we are going to be taking a look at the not a copy Jaeger November Ajax, where we all pretty much remember this star-stopping Jaeger from Pacific Rim Uprising. You know, the really popular one where he yelled at Scrapper saying it's not an authorized zone. That popular one. Yeah, he got an action figure. But you know what? Surprisingly, this one is really, really nice. How nice is it? Yeah, I'm already raving about it, and I think this one is definitely going to be my favorite of the three in the third wave. How many threes are in that sentence? You go ahead and figure it out. Enough mumbling. Let's take a look to see whether or not he's worth adding into your collection. Longtime viewers of the channel, are you ready for me to talk about a quality control issue where I am completely civil? Yeah? Are you ready? Good, because it's about to happen. Anyway, when we take a look at November Ajax here, there's one thing that definitely stands out. It definitely looks like it's got a very wide stance, wide boy, and it is definitely going to be intimidating to anything that isn't going to follow code ordinances or laws or anything like that, which is very good because that is basically what it is known for in the movie when it threatens Scrapper. I really rewatched that scene again and again on YouTube, and though there are a couple of details missing, it's mostly from the paint department and not the sculpt, which is a good thing, because once you start missing things in the sculpt, that's not great, even if it's at a more affordable price point. But here, Diamond Select was able to secure a sculptor who was able to get all of the finer details. So you know what, enough of the 360 spin, let's get down to business and take a look at the finer details, starting off with the con pod where we can clearly see that blue visor looks very nice, and it is a nice contrast compared to the blue used throughout the rest of the figure, and once you have that differentiation, you're already off to a great start. We have those shoulder blades, which also feature very small blue paint details, something the likes of other companies are not capable of recreating. Anyway, that is good to see. Even the back turbines look great as well. We have fantastic silver weathering on the shoulder pads and on the arms, which also have nice black detailing for some of the panel lines. There's also blue found on the torso, which looks great. More silver going down the thighs and on the shins, on the ankle guards, on the feet. It all looks great. Overall, for the paint job, they did a splendid job. And what's interesting here is even when I'm looking at it up close as I'm recording this, I really don't see any mold lines. So that is awesome on DST's part. Now that quality control issue, on mine, on the right knee, there's a big maroon blob. Yep. Now, it is disappointing that happened, but it's just like a random QC thing, guys. It's a random QC thing. I mean, yeah, it does suck, but I mean, it's unfortunate. It's a one-time thing. Probably not going to happen to yours. It happened to mine, which is, you know, that's not fun, but yeah. So, barring that QC thing, overall, November Ajax does look good. Very good. November Ajax does indeed have some loose joints, unfortunately, but I do have to say, if it were to have like 3 more joints, this thing would be a de facto robot spirits, okay? This is almost NECA's Cherno Alpha tier for how awesome this thing is for articulation, okay? So let me stop bragging about it and let me show you how awesome this thing is. So one of the joints that I would change if I had the chance to really modify this would be the head. It is on a ball joint, but realistically speaking, this is about the range of movement you're going to get, just a swivel from side to side, okay? You can get it to look back and forth, up and down a little bit, just like that, but it's not really a whole lot of movement. Now for the shoulders, the pads are on ball joints, so you can kind of rock them around, and then the arms are on swivels, not really ball joints, so they're on swivels where they plug in for the shoulders, and then there is a hinge there which allows you to move the whole arm in and out or forward and back, depending on how you view things. And then, similar to NECA's original Striker Eureka, there is a hinge attached to that hinge, so this way you can swing the arms forward and back just like that. There is a single elbow hinge, which is nice, and then we have swivel hinge at the wrist for both sets of hands that this figure comes with. This is what I would change as well. There's no bicep swivel. None. Unless there's one hidden and stuck. Yeah, if they would have done that, nearly perfect right there. Awesome movement. Because, I mean, look at how crazy this thing can move. I mean, we can get him ready to just haul off and swing at a kaiju or something. Just look at that posing. That is so cool. One single cut and a swivel. Great. But, yes, there are some loose joints here. Yeah. A little bit of tightening up can maybe fix that. But realistically speaking, it can hold a pose just fine. It's just when you're really playing with it that it's easy to move. We do have a nice working ab crunch, more so back and to the sides and rocking around than forward because of the build of the robot here. So do take that into consideration. For the hips, swivel, hinge out to the side, so we're looking about that far for the splits, and we do also have a little bit of a swivel going on here as well at the thighs where the hips plug in. We do have a single hinge knee, which that's okay. For the ankle guards, they are on ball joints, and then we do have similar style swivel hinge motion in the ankles, so this way the ankles can, or the feet, sorry, can move forward and back and swivel out for ankle rocker movement, which isn't a whole lot, but it's still good. So yeah, overall, this thing is great. The only thing that I would say needs improvement would be the neck, bicep swivels, and then improved ankles, and this thing would be golden. I mean, this thing is awesome. It seriously is on the same tier as NECA's Cherno Alpha, where this thing could basically be put on the same shelf as an import figure, and you almost wouldn't be able to tell the difference articulation-wise. It's very good. Time for the accessories, kids, and fists to go with those open hands. Now, this can definitely strike the superhero landing pose easily with the articulation, but unfortunately, when you have a set of open hands and you have a set of fists, you're definitely going to want to do that gypsy punching the fist pose that we all know and love from the original movie, and this figure can't do that. So it's a bit disappointing. So, yeah, it's cool that it comes with fists, but doesn't really have the articulation to really go super over the top with it. You're gonna be able to do some basic poses. So cool. We get splayed hands and we get fists for the accessories. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over to the sizing, where we're going to have the entirety of the third wave, third series, tomato, tomato, potato, potato of DST specific rim stuff with some other figures you just might have. And as you can clearly see, this figure will fit in relatively well with all of the other Jaegers you might have from Diamond Select and with a couple of the select figures that you just might have. So November Ajax is looking mighty fine. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. What do we have here? Overall, this one looks nice. It moves relatively well. It does need a couple of other points of articulation, and the looseness needs to be tightened up. Accessories, to be honest, there's not really much else it could come with except for maybe a beam effect, but that's not really in the $25 price range. Overall, I think DST did a great job with November Ajax here, and I don't know. Aside from a few more points of articulation, I think this one is borderline perfect. I really feel like for $25, you are definitely going to get a figure that you are going to be happy with. It can move well enough. It does look great, but for some folks, they just might be frustrated they can't get it into that exact pose they were hoping to get it in. But still, at the end of the day, I'm having some fun with mine with some creative posing and camera trickery. Definitely not the most memorable Jaeger, but you know what? I'm having fun with the figure. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.